Felt like I was on the receiving end. Yeah, my theme is shit happens. I noticed that a lot of people were doing their themes on stuff like control or loss or one thing after another, just tragedy happening over and over again. And this semester has been difficult. I struggle a lot with mental health, and so dealing with bipolar and panic attacks and having like flashback emotions, it hadn't really helped me much in one of my comm classes. Overnight, my A went to a D. So, man, shit happens. Along with my theme, I've got sub-themes. My first one is inevitability. My first piece is a poem by Ellen Bass called Relax. Sometimes it's difficult to relax in these moments. And what I like about this poem is that it's funny, and towards the end there's just this huge contrast of the tone of the big chunk of the first part. So I hope you guys like it. Bad things are going to happen. Your tomatoes will grow fungus, and your cat will get run over. Someone will eat the bag with the ice cream in the car, and it will melt. And they'll throw your blue cashmere sweater in the dryer. Your husband will sleep with a girl your daughter's age, her breasts spilling out of her blouse. Or your wife will remember she's lesbian and leave you for the woman next door. The other cat, the one you never really liked, will contract a disease that requires you to pry open its feverish mouth every 4 hours. Your parents will die. No matter how many vitamins you take, how much Pilates, you will lose your keys, your hair, and your memory. You'll come home to find your son has emptied the refrigerator, dragged it to the curb, and called the used appliance store for pickup. Drug money. Your wallet will be stolen. You'll get fat, slip on the bathroom tiles of a foreign hotel, and crack your hip. You'll be lonely. Oh, taste how sweet and tart the red juice is. How tiny the seeds crunch between your teeth. This next piece, I actually found out about this piece first when I found out about this poem. I was listening to a podcast called The One You Feed, and this piece is my prose portion in response to the poem that I just read. And it's an interview of a man named Roger Housden. And this sub-theme is on perfection. A lot of times when we want things to go our way, we sometimes try to keep this ideal image of how it's supposed to be. We are imperfect. I am certainly imperfect. I don't think there's anyone who isn't. And I think that the more that we come to embrace and acknowledge our own imperfections, we can come to acknowledge and embrace the way in which life itself doesn't seem to be perfect. Although, of course, really it is. The way that it happens, the way that life unfolds is the way it's happening. Who's to say it's wrong? The only thing that seems to think it's wrong is the plan we have in our head. But life doesn't concern itself too much for our plans. You see, the more we align ourselves with life as it's presenting itself, the happier we'll be. All right, so what do you do when things don't go perfectly, or when the inevitable just keeps on happening? It's difficult to cope sometimes, and I found along the way it's very helpful to have friends to kind of help cheer you up. Eventually, over time, you start to reflect back and you start to realize, wow, that was pretty silly, wasn't it? So, along the way, don't forget to laugh. This next piece is a song by Ella Fitzgerald. It was featured in a 1942 film called Ride 'em Cowboy. So let me get my speaker, which I forgot. Yes, on the way I dropped it. A little girl, they picked it up and put it in her pocket. She was trucking on down the avenue, but not a single thing. She went peck, peck, pecking on.